People even dressed up as Charlie Kirk.
I've never seen this. This is a Halloween Charlie Kirk fit. Kids are gonna see you and be like, hey, mommy, what's she dressed up as? This is actually a little crazy, bro. Why tragedies become memes.
Terrorist attacks, mass shootings, political assassinations.
Whoa.
These are the darkest things you can imagine. So why did they become memes?
Because they're funny. Ha ha ha. Nah, all jokes aside, my answer is because Gen Z loves to be edgy, bro. We like edging.
Over the past few years, I've noticed something strange. The internet doesn't treat every tragedy the same. Some events become memorials, others get turned into jokes. Take Charlie Kirk, for example.
Come on, bro. Rakai Kirk.
His assassination instantly turned into edits and memes. Not because people were using the jokes as a form to cope, but because millions genuinely hated him.
Yeah.
The memes weren't about processing the event. It was pure mockery. Now, compare that to 9/11. Those memes exist too. They're edgy, they're messed up, but they're never targeting the victims themselves. Nobody is laughing at the people who died.
I think the easy answer is that freaking Charlie Kirk was, you know, a very polarizing figure. He was really, really loved and he was really, really hated. He was saying a lot of bigotry, bro. He was spewing a lot of hatred against, you know, marginalized communities. So it's only right that people don't like him. And it makes sense that people like low-key flame him after he died because nobody really feels bad for him. Versus 9/11, it was just like random victims and innocent people that we have no idea who they were. So how could you really make fun of them? If you make fun of them, like, it makes no sense at all.
Humor comes from shock value, not a personal attack on the victims. Then you have the 2019 El Paso shooter.
Who the heck is this? Ew, dude. Oh my gosh. Yo, I don't like looks maxers, but you need to follow some advice.
They're known as the Wojak Chud shooter, a mass shooter that became a reaction image. People weren't laughing with him, they were laughing at the absurdity of the situation because the whole thing didn't feel real. And then there's
Wait, I thought they were just flaming him because he's ugly, not because of the situation.
the OceanGate implosion, a billionaire submarine disaster that turned into edits and jokes across the internet literally within minutes. Before we get into this video,
I remember that. I think it's just because they're billionaires, bro. That's probably why people don't like them.
It is very important to define what dark humor is. Dark humor is basically the internet's way of dealing with things that are too heavy.
Black comedy. I've never heard anybody refer to it as black comedy or black humor. Black? What do we do?
Or uncomfortable to process directly. People joke about tragedies for a mix of reasons: shock value, coping, desensitization, quick online attention, or just pure hatred. For some, it creates emotional distance from something horrifying. For others, it's about feeling edgy or part of a subculture that laughs at taboo stuff. And with how fast memes spread, once a tragic moment becomes a format, people keep making memes of until the original context fades.
I would say that most people who participate in dark humor are of the I want to be edgy group. I'm cool because I laugh at serious things. Ha ha ha, you know? The kid who watches freaking cartel videos in class.
It doesn't mean everyone supports the joke. It just shows how the internet reacts to things it doesn't know how to handle. For this first entry, let's talk about something that happened recently, and that's no other than the Charlie Kirk assassination. On September 10th, 2025 at Utah Valley University, conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck at 12:23 p.m., right in the middle of a debate about gun violence. He was officially pronounced dead around 2:40 p.m. The main suspect is Tyler Robinson. Kirk had been speaking under a tent at the center of campus, taking questions from Robinson.
I remember seeing memes about this dude and saying, oh, well, he mogs Kirk, so therefore it's okay, on some like black pill looks maxer edits. That's how you know looks maxers have gone way too far, bro. The fact that you're able to justify a death and a murder through looks, you're freaking crazy, bro.
Kirk had been speaking under a tent at the center of campus, taking questions from students during the opening stop of his American Comeback Tour. As he responded to a question about mass shootings, a single round from a rifle struck him in the left side of his neck. Investigators later confirmed the shot came from a rooftop roughly 142 yards away. Fired by—
I've still yet to see the video, bro. But because of the way people describe it to me, they were like, yo, a sniper rifle bullet like pierced his neck and then like, bro, I'm good. I don't want to see that, man. I don't need to freaking traumatize myself for today.
A sniper who had positioned himself on the building minutes earlier. The shooter fled across the rooftop and escaped into a wooded area north of campus, where investigators recovered several engraved cartridges next to the rifle. Each marked with strange internet references. The spent casing was engraved with "Notices bulge, oh whoa, what's this?" a popular meme in the furry community.
Yo, this man Kirk got slimed out by a furry. Was obsessed with internet Gen Z dark humor. Freaking poggers 4chan humor, dude. That's your killer, yo. Damn, that's the generation we're gonna be moving on to, man. These are gonna be the next killers. There's genuinely a percentage chance that you get killed by a Discord mod, a Discord kitten. Brief intermission. If you're enjoying today's video so far, please make sure you smash the subscribe button. We're on the road to 90,000 subscribers. Thank you very much.
3 unfired rounds were found as well. One read, "Hey fascist catch, up, right, down, down, down," a reference to the game Helldivers 2 that calls it an airstrike. Another was engraved with "Oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao," lyrics from the Italian song Bella Ciao, which is an anti-fascist Italian song. And the last round said, well, take a look for yourself. He was charged with,
if you read this, you're gay is crazy, bro. Wait, I read it. Does that mean I'm gay?
Aggravated murder, 2 counts of obstruction of justice, and felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury. Prosecutors announced they would seek the death penalty. Reactions that further exposed the polarized climate Kirk often spoke about. National leaders condemned the killing, while others blamed opposing political groups long before a motive was confirmed.
That's really what happens when you have such a polarizing person, involved in the death. Because naturally, bro, if you say person A, person B, one guy is talking in a tent and he gets sniped out of the trees, like also Fortnite timing with the heavy sniper, are people gonna say it's good at all? Nobody can say it's good. Everybody's gonna say it's bad. But then when you put a person like Charlie Kirk, which so many people hate, they start to be like, nah, was it really bad? And that's when the memes start to spread, bro.
Shortly after his death, people started to mock him. Thousands, if not millions, went on social media to celebrate his death. One of the earliest Charlie Kirk memes appeared in early October.
Come on, man.
Where his face was swapped onto the iconic Anthony Mackie smiling photo with the caption,
Son.
The image spread quickly and became one of the first viral edits following his death.
I think the thing with the Kirk memes that are actually fascinating is how good the AI looks sometimes. Like, bro, the face swap should not be this good. I've seen some like really, really accurate ones of like Charlie Kirk swapped onto like rappers that are like underground.
Following this, we got AI videos of Charlie Kirk, such as the infamous Kirkification trend, where his face was plastered onto
This one's young boy, right?
rappers, other memes, and random people. On Halloween, people even dressed up as Charlie Kirk, wearing the same freedom shirt with the bloodstain.
I've never seen this. This is a Halloween Charlie Kirk fit. Yo, he was wearing this shirt when he died. And then they got the blood on the other side where like the neck injury. No, this is low-key too far, bruh. Kids are gonna see you and be like, yo, hey mom, what are you dressed up as? Hey mommy, what's she dressed up as? Oh, she's dressed up as Charlie Kirk when he got murdered on that one infamous day. This is actually a little crazy, bro.
Out of all the tragedies that turned into memes, Charlie Kirk becoming a meme wasn't a way to cope with his death.
Yeah.
It was a way to mock him. As many people loved him, he had just as many haters.
Really? I felt like he has more haters than lovers, but I could be wrong.
On August 3rd, 2019, at a Walmart in El Paso, Texas, a mass shooting took place that became one of the deadliest attacks on Latinos in modern American history. At 10:38 a.m., 21-year-old Patrick Wood Crucius opened fire with a semi-automatic rifle, killing 23 people
23?
and injuring 22 more. He walked into the store after posting a manifesto online.
So this man posted a thing online that he was gonna go try to like kill innocent people, Hispanic people in a neighborhood, and nobody saw it? The FBI, the CIA, nobody? You know how people are like, oh, the CIA might be watching you through your camera, they might be watching you through your computer. Why don't you watch people like this? On top of that, bro, Texas, bro, gun laws, bro. Come on, bro. How come I can just go to a freaking local 7-Eleven, go to a freaking ice cream truck and ask for one gun, please, and they give me one, dude? It should not be that easy to get a goddamn gun. I don't care, man. I don't care.
Hispanic people and echoing far-right extremist beliefs centered around anti-immigrant and white supremacist conspiracy theories.
Lame.
The attack lasted only a few minutes, but the damage was catastrophic.
Rest in peace to all the victims.
Patrick had arrived earlier that morning after driving hundreds of miles from his home in Allen, Texas. He walked through the store to scout the location, returned to his car to gear up.
He's walking around with a gun in his hand. Hold on, let me move so I can see this. This man is literally walking through Walmart with an AK-47 tucked on his right hip. Just like casually, like as if you could do that, bro. You should not be able to do that anywhere. I don't care, bro. I don't.
Returned to his car to gear up, and then began shooting in the parking lot before moving inside. Once in the building, he continued firing at shoppers, families, and employees, attacking people in aisles.
What the hell do you gave him this, bro? You're a loser.
Checkout lanes, and even a bank area inside the store. He fired close to 90 rounds before fleeing back towards the parking lot. Shortly after leaving the scene, Patrick surrendered without resistance. He stopped his car,
See, bro, even this, bro, like how is he even able to get arrested, bro? The moment you see a dude like this take out 20, 30 people or whatever, the only appropriate response should be taking out your gun, going like these, and shoot him right in the head, bro. You should not be, hey, how's your day, sir? You know, go ahead and put your hands behind your back. Let me detain you. Like, they're treating this guy like he's a nice guy. Is he smiling? They probably offered him food, donuts, a freaking soda. Like, bro, the only thing you should do is blast his head off respectfully, man.
Out with his hands up and told law enforcement officers that he was the shooter. He was arrested on the spot and later charged with capital murder and dozens of federal hate crime and firearms offenses. Over the following years, he pled guilty to 90 federal counts related to
what else are you gonna do? Say I didn't do it?
The attack, and was sentenced to 90 consecutive life sentences.
Damn.
With additional life sentences added at the state level.
They spanked him, bro. 90 consecutive life sentences. Yeah, I'll see you after your rent and rebirth, bro. Your Sage of Six Paths form. How many years is 90 life sentences? That's gotta be like 1,000 years.
With additional life sentences added at the state level. The aftermath of the shooting left El Paso devastated. Vigils, memorials, and tributes poured in from across the United States and Mexico.
Rest in peace.
As the majority of victims were Hispanic and many were Mexican nationals. The event intensified conversations about extremism, online radicalization, and the growing wave of white supremacist violence. It also led to widespread condemnation from leaders, communities, and advocacy groups as El Paso mourned one of the darkest days in its history.
The sad thing is, bro, I feel like there's always some type of like discussion after like some type of mass shooting, whether that's a shooting in the streets, a school shooting, like there's always some discussion. Well, what can we do? What can we gun control? What can we, armed security, blah, blah, mental health, and then nothing ever happens, bro. Like, am I gonna be the one to say it, bro? I bet you there was a shooting today, bro. It's crazy stuff.
This is a tragedy. So what meme followed this? For those who don't know what a Wojak is, it's one of the oldest and most recognizable faces in internet meme culture. A simple black outline drawing of a bald man with a sad blank expression. It first appeared on Polish and German image boards in the late 2000s before spreading to 4chan, where it evolved into endless variations used to express insecurity, frustration, or ironically shared emotions. After the El Paso shooting, one of those
So Wojak was like the original emoji, basically. Oh my god, this dude's ugly, dude.
Variations became Chudjak, originally appeared on left-wing boards like BunkerChan in 2020. Chudjak was drawn as a caricature of the El Paso shooter Patrick and quickly turned into a way to mock far-right extremists and the type of users associated with 4chan's poll board. The character spread during raids and meme wars between communities, eventually becoming one of the most recognizable political Wojak edits online. On June 18th, 2023, the Titan submersible operated by the tourism company OceanGate imploded during a dive to the wreck of the Titanic.
I remember this. Everybody was laughing because it was just billionaires deciding to go to the bottom of the ocean. Like, what are you doing, bro? You're not going to find SpongeBob, Patrick, nothing down there that's of importance, bro. And you wasted your entire life just to implode to see the bottom of the sea.
9/11 needs no introduction, as we all know what it is. Hell, a single video from that tragedy already has way more views than my entire channel combined. So we'll skip over it because YouTube hates it when YouTubers talk about the attacks.
Okay.
In the aftermath of the September attacks, media coverage exploded instantly across every major network. Live broadcasts ran nonstop for days, replaying the same images from New York, Washington, and Pennsylvania until they became burned into the public consciousness.
I feel like this tragedy was one of the worst for like literally everybody. For example, like Americans, okay, people died. Other Americans, they were afraid for their safety. If this happens again, maybe another attack or something. Even if you were like ethnically like Middle Eastern or something during this time, bro, you were getting flamed to oblivion. Everybody would look at you and probably be like, yo, is that another one of them? So it was just cooked for everybody involved. One thing I will say though that is a little bit hypocritical about this event is that people will say, oh, don't make fun of it, people died, whatever. But then they'll make fun of like, I don't know, an attack that killed even more people. Maybe like Hiroshima, freaking slavery, I don't know. And then it's like, bro, where's the consistency, man? Like there is much more casualties in freaking Afghanistan than this. But you'll make fun of that, but not this.
As the world watched, photos from Ground Zero, firefighters in the rubble, people running through the streets, the falling man spread everywhere and became one of the most recognizable images in modern history.
Again, rest in peace, and also shout out to the firefighters, bro, who had to run up thousands of flights of stairs, bro. Yo, my legs would have fallen off, eviscerated off the bone like some smoked turkey, genuinely.
But at the exact same time, the internet reacted in its own way. Early forums like Something Awful, 4chan, began circulating Photoshop photos, dark jokes, and parody edits literally within hours of the attack.
God damn.
Memes like tourist guy, manipulated $20 bill conspiracies, and absurd animations started appearing, not to mock the victims, but because the internet processes shock differently than traditional media.
They're just edgelords, bro. That's what it is. They love edging, as I said in the beginning of the video, man.
Over the years, the September attacks became one of the first global examples of a tragedy being transformed into viral content. From edgy jokes to tasteless commercials to running
They made a commercial of this?
content.
This aired on TV, a commercial. What were they possibly selling, bro? You'll buy yourself a plane so you could commit another version of, and this time we're gonna call it, 1012. What did they possibly sell with this commercial, bro?
Commercials to running gag phrases like jet fuel can't melt steel beams and Bush did 9/11. What began as nonstop news coverage slowly evolved into an entire ecosystem of memes, debates, satire, and dark humor that still resurface every year, showing how even the most devastating events can be reshaped.
Another thing with this event is this is the reason why freaking TSA exists nowadays. So if you ever feel like, you're going through a flight and there's some annoying lady and put your shoes on the conveyor belt, put your backpack, blah, just like pressing you and stuff, it's because of this event. So blame George Bush because he did it, bro. Yeah. I'm kidding, I think.
And sometimes distorted by online culture. A few months ago, I thought to myself, what was the first ever meme from this tragedy? After all, there is a plethora of memes about this event.
Crazy part is this is like one of the memes where I wasn't even born yet and the memes are going crazy, bro. That's crazy to think that memes were alive before my existence.
Within minutes after this tragedy, someone posted on 4chan this photo of Hulk Hogan doing a big boot to the building.
Come on, man.
I cannot find the 4chan link to the actual post, but instead repost of the first ever 9/11 meme.
Wait, why does this kind of look like an Attack on Titan edit, bro? Like a Titan or like Godzilla.
First ever 9/11 meme. At first glance, it doesn't make sense that some of the darkest moments in modern history end up recycled into jokes, edits, and memes. But the reality is that online culture reacts to tragedy in a way that's more complicated than simple disrespect. Whether it's the September attacks, the El Paso shooter becoming Wojak, the implosion of the OceanGate sub, or the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Each one shows how the internet processes shock in real time.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes people use humor as a coping mechanism, a way to distance themselves from fear, violence, or helplessness. Sometimes the humor is targeted, meant to mock someone specific, like how Charlie Kirk became a meme because of his politics, or how Stockton Rush was ridiculed for the choices that led to the Titan's implosion. Other times, the humor has nothing to do with the victims at all.
Right.
Like the September jokes or the Wojak meme, where the tragedy ends up as a background detail in the joke instead of what anyone is actually paying attention to.
What I would say is I feel like all these memes have different purposes, but the main overall idea of, people are coping with their humor, I'm gonna be the one to tell you, bro, that's wrong as hell, bro. Nobody's coping with making memes, bro. The people who are trying to make memes instantly when an attack happens or some type of crazy event, they're trying to go viral, bro. They're clout chasing. Like the first dude who made a freaking 9/11 meme, he was probably like, 9/11 happened, let me make a meme, try to go viral, try to go funny, get laughs, get interaction, haha, now I'm cool, okay? Besides that, Wojak, they're making fun of the dude, obviously. Kirk, they're making fun of Kirk because they think he's a bad person. And the billionaire one, they also think that billionaires are bad people, and they made a stupid decision, so therefore it got memed. But it's never out of coping for I don't know, the world ending or safety and things like that, bro. I'm gonna be honest, no.
What ties all of this together is how the internet strips complicated, horrific events down into something way simpler than they really were. The fuller story disappears, and the version that survives is whatever the internet finds easiest to circulate. Don't get me wrong, the memes are not going to stain the legacy of the tragedy itself. Instead, it's the cherry on top when it comes to people's reactions to said tragedy.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that Kirk meme is low-key messing up the legacy of Kirk. I mean, not that Kirk had an amazing legacy anyways. When I think of Kirk, I think of racism. I think of him just saying crazy stuff about, women or black people. His legacy wasn't amazing anyways, right? But I feel like the meme is, taking a lot away from what, I'm saying he even ever did. That was positive, if he did any, that I don't know of. But either way, that's gonna do it for today's video. That was why tragedies are becoming memes. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section of why you think tragedies become memes. Do you think that it's because of all the same reasons? Do you think they all have different reasons? What do you think about the Kirk memes? Do you think that is too far? Do you think it's too offensive? Do you think that this is something that should not be going on? And also let me know what you think down below about they're doing it to cope or coping mechanism, things like that, which I kind of disagree with, bro. But that's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord link in the description. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 90,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. Sub to the main channel description, follow the IG also description. Have a great rest of your day. It's love you all. I love you, and I'm out.